This is the Unit 9 assessment. Please write your name on your paper. Make sure you are showing all your work on your test and then bubbling the correct answers on your answer document. If you need to pause at any time, you may, and you can rewind and replay any of these questions as many times as you need to. If you have any other questions, please raise your hand. Let's begin. Question 1. The ordered pairs for the points on the coordinate plane satisfy the equation y equals 5x. Which table shows other points that satisfy the equation y equals 5x? Table A, Table B, Table C, Table D. Question 2. Which input-output table and graph represent the numerical pattern y equals x plus 2.5? Table and graph F, table and graph G, table and graph H, table and graph J. Question 3. A local grocery store sells bananas by the pound. The relationship between the number of pounds and the cost of the bananas can be represented by the equation y equals 0.49x. Which table could represent this relationship? Table A, Table B, Table C, Table D. Question 4. John walks laps around a track. The table below shows the time it takes John to walk different numbers of laps around the track. John's laps. Number of laps. Time in minutes. Which statement about the numerical pattern in the table is true? F. The table shows an additive pattern because the pattern in the table follows the rule y equals x plus 13. G. The table shows a multiplicative pattern because the pattern in the table follows the rule x equals 7.5y. H. The table shows an additive pattern because the pattern in the table follows the rule x equals y plus 13. J. The table shows a multiplicative pattern because the pattern in the table follows the rule y equals 7.5x. Question 5. Kelly sold t-shirts to earn extra money. The graph below shows the number of t-shirts she sold and the amount of money she earned. Money she earned in dollars. Number of t-shirts sold. Which statement about the pattern shown in the graph is true? A. The graph represents an additive pattern because it shows x equals y plus 3. B. The graph represents an additive pattern because it shows y equals x plus 3. C. The graph represents a multiplicative pattern because it shows x equals 3y. D. The graph represents a multiplicative pattern because it shows y equals 3x. Question 6. Emily has already created 15 pages in her scrapbook. She plans to design a new page per day for a month. Based on this information, which graph shows the total number of pages Emily had created at the end of each day? Graph F, Graph G, Graph H, Graph J. Question 7. Which coordinate plane shows the x-axis, the y-axis, and the origin labeled correctly? Coordinate plane A, coordinate plane B, coordinate plane C, coordinate plane D. Question 8. Parallelogram ABCD is shown on the coordinate plane below. Which of the following describes the process for graphing the coordinates for point C? F. Begin at the x-axis and move 4 spaces up parallel to the y-axis. Place point C at that location. G. Begin at the origin. Move 4 spaces to the right on the x-axis, and then move 8 spaces up parallel to the y-axis. Place point C at that location. H. Begin at the y-axis. Move 8 spaces to the right on the x-axis. Place point C at that location. J. Begin at the origin. Move 8 spaces to the right on the x-axis and then move 4 spaces up parallel to the y-axis. Place point C at that location. Question 9. 4 individual points, a circle, and a triangle are graphed on the coordinate plane below. Which ordered pair represents one of the points located inside the circle and the triangle? A. 2, 3. B. 3, 3. C. 4, 4. D. 5, 2. Question 10. Some figures are graphed on the coordinate plane below. Which figure is located at 5 units to the right of the origin and 7 units above the origin? F. Triangle. G. Square. H. Circle. J. Trapezoid. Question 11. The price of gasoline is $3.15 per gallon. The graph below shows the pattern T equals 3.15 G, where T represents the total cost to fill up a gas tank and G represents the number of gallons of gasoline bought. Which table represents the relationship between G and T shown in the graph? Table A, Table B, Table C, Table D. Question 12. The coordinate plane below shows the locations of different types of fruit. Cherries, apple, banana, watermelon. Which ordered pair describes the location of the apple on the coordinate plane? F. 2, 6. G, 1.5, 3.5. H, 3.5, 1.5. J, 5, 4.5. This is not the end of the test. You should have another page that has questions 13 and 14. Question 13. A rectangle has an area of 48 square inches and a perimeter of 28 inches. Which of these could be the dimensions of the rectangle? A, 4 inches by 7 inches. B, 4 inches by 12 inches. C, 3 inches by 8 inches. D, 6 inches by 8 inches. Question 14. Carolina has a magnet shaped like a rectangular prism with these dimensions. Height 3 millimeters. Width 30 millimeters. Length 52 millimeters. What is the volume of the magnet in cubic millimeters? F, 468 cubic millimeters. G, 246 cubic millimeters. H, 1,560 cubic millimeters. J, not here. This concludes the Unit 9 assessment. You should have had 14 questions, and you should bubble all 14 of them on your answer document. Make sure you have shown all your work on your test. If you need to go back and replay any of these questions, feel free to do so. When you're finished, raise your hand.